All right, how's it going, everybody? It's about 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Nobody's home except me, and I'm bored as hell. So I'm gonna make focaccia bread. Pizza, dinner rolls, a loaf of bread, it's all the same recipe. So I'm gonna show you guys how quick we can make this, and I brought it to a party a couple weeks ago and everybody's like, what was that? So I sent them the recipe. It's super easy. So let's get started here. Regular all-purpose flour, I do 2 cups. Okay, 1 cup. 2 cups, okay? And then I'm not gonna get the knife out and do the thing there. But since my wife's not here, nobody to yell at me, so I can do it however I want. Okay, I need yeast. You know what, I'm gonna put the yeast in the water. So 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of water. Use some yeast, I just kind of do a little bit. I got this yeast on Amazon. If it's spelled backwards, I'll put it in the captions on the video. Okay, so you got the yeast, 1 cup of water. I got a little bit of honey left over. My father-in-law sent me from the farm in Wisconsin. I'll throw a little bit in there. It's kind of hard to get out of the spoon. God darn it. And then stick that in the microwave, I don't know, 20 seconds, something like that. Okay. And kosher salt, I have that. Just throw a pinch in there. We still got 10 seconds, just some regular sugar, a little bit. All right, we're at 20, we'll do 22 seconds. My buddy Jim Raffenbach, that was his jersey number. Okay, mix it up with the same spoon. See how it's cloudy like this? I don't know if you can see on the video. And it should be just lukewarm. You don't want it like really hot. Okay, good enough. Get rid of that. Get rid of this stuff. And just mix up, what did I put in here? The salt and the flour. That's all that's in here, and a little bit of the sugar. So take the yeast, water, honey. Whoop. Pour it in there. Now people think making pizza dough is so messy and whatever, and it can be if you're sloppy. And if you think you're gonna be sloppy, get some cooking gloves. I kind of an impatient person, so whatever. Just spin it by hand here. Do that for about a minute. And literally, you don't really have to, you notice my hands aren't even dirty. You can roll it out the old Italian way on the counter. I'm not doing that. Okay, and it'll be really sticky. See how it's kind of sticking to my mixing spoon here? And just kind of give it a little elbow grease. It's a good little arm workout if you are doing that. I'd say do it for a minute or 2 at the most. And once you got all the flour in there, kind of leave it alone. So we're doing this live, so this is exactly how long it takes. So we started at 10 o'clock. It's 10:03 right now, and we got all the stuff in there already. I mean, this is it. Don't add anything to it. And just kind of work in that flour. So the only other thing we're going to do here is when it's done, which will be about 20 more seconds. Okay, it kind of looks like that in there. Okay, so I got most of the flour's all worked in there. It's a little bit sticky. Grab a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit. All that's going to do is get it so it's not sticky. I just kind of mix it in there again. Give it 10-15 seconds. And what it'll do, it's going to take all the flour off the sides, and looks like a little, I don't know, 12-inch softball, 14-inch softball in there. Okay, so you're done. Now you just wait. All we're going to do, you can throw a towel over it. I use, what's this? Cling and seal. You can do press and seal, whatever you want. Cover it up for 2 hours, just like that. If you're doing this before leaving the house, running an errand, going to work, whatever, then I would stick it in the fridge. But if it's going to be more than, say, 4 hours, a couple hours, let it sit there and we'll be right back. All right, so we are back. It's actually 2 hours later, almost to the minute. I'm going to wear gloves for this just because I'm going to use garlic and I don't want my hands smelling like garlic all day. So it's 2 hours later. I haven't touched this. The dough has risen. So you take your plastic off and it's pretty much, I don't know, triple in size maybe. And actually I'm gonna switch. We're gonna go to, we'll do an aerial view for the rest of the video. And okay, now we got the aerial view. Now we're cooking here. So I kind of prepped some stuff. It didn't take me long. So here's how it looks after it has risen. Now there's two different things. If you're making focaccia bread, I'll do it in this little pan here. I don't know, it's about I don't know, 10 by 10 maybe. And I'm not gonna knead this or anything. If it's pizza, we're gonna knead it. And all I'm gonna do is take half of it. Okay, so now it's a little guy and I just leave it. And there's a lot of air bubbles in there. Now you could let it sit in here and rise just like that. Some places like to do it. I don't really care. So now what I do that's different, let me get my pizza dough out of the way here. I'm gonna put it back in because what I like to do, so I have a garden in back of my house, just small herb garden, okay? All I have is basil, rosemary, and mint. We're not putting mint in here. I just take the rosemary and I like to put it right in there and kind of mix it in. And I'm gonna do that with the basil too, I'll use a few leaves. And that's your focaccia bread. So you're gonna throw it, just plop it right in the pan like that, and it will spread out a little bit. You can move it with your fingers. There are probably some air bubbles. You can pop them if you want, but don't go crazy with it because it will, as it sits here, it's gonna go out. And I know you're looking at that thinking that's like a mini pizza at Pizza Hut or something, but no, it'll widen out a little bit, and then you can put on it whatever you want. So let it sit out just like this for 20 minutes. It'll widen out a little bit. Throw it in the oven, 450 for 20 minutes. I'll show you a picture when it's all done. Pizza is a little bit different. All the difference, the only difference with pizza and focaccia bread to me is flour for prep. You throw on your cooking surface, throw some flour. Whoops. Put the little flour on top. But for pizza, you have to knead it. Okay, so you're gonna just keep flipping it and use your palm of your hand and just do that a bunch of times because you got to get as much air out of it as you want. Because like the focaccia bread, if you get a pizza roller and you roll out pizza dough, it's just gonna keep shrinking back and you're gonna be like, why isn't it staying? It's because you didn't do this long enough, knead it. And as I'm doing this, you can feel the air bubbles coming out of it. So it's basically the same thing. I'm not gonna keep the video on here and do this. You would do this for maybe 2 minutes and you'll feel it popping. And then if you're using, I use a, what do you call this? Pizza stone. And it seems to work good on here for pizza. You do it in a pan just the way I did the focaccia if you want. Just don't oil it too much. or you can, it'll just, you know, be brown. Anyways, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna pretty much throw the same ingredients on it. It's just, one can be served cold, and pizza, you know how you like it. I'd suggest your pizza, make it as thin as you can. When you're rolling it out, it just seems to come out better from this recipe. And that's about it. I'll show you the finished product, and that'll be that. And another thing too, rosemary, I don't know if you've ever done this. I just cut them out of my garden. I just hold it up like this backwards, and whoop, look at all that. Comes right off. And then I use this little tool to kind of do it. Now I screwed that up because I just did it right over the flour, so I'll have to pick some more. And then I just use this little tool that I was bragging about before, and you just kind of, and it just chops it up. You know, you keep putting it in a little circle like that. Anyways, I totally fucked up that presentation there for that, but who cares? You know, half the time I'm like watching a baseball game chopping this stuff up, and that's why I use this, because my other hand can be away, because if you're like me and you're a Cubs fan, and, you know, say Hector Neris is pitching the 9th inning, I'm going to cut my fingers with that guy, because it just, watch a Cubs 9th inning, just get a video. You'll lose your mind if you're a fan. That's not something you want to see. Anyway. All right, so I had a little extra time. So one thing I didn't mention that I want to bring up, if you're using a pizza stone or a pan or whatever, put some cornmeal underneath it. It'll make the pizza slide as it cooks. So here's the pizza part. It's basically the same ingredients as the focaccia, except I just drizzled a little olive oil on top of it. I didn't use any pizza sauce. Right now this is oregano that I'm putting on there. I like to do that, and then a little bit of pepper. I didn't add any salt because I don't have any health problems with salt, but salt kind of comes off of that prosciutto lunch meat that I was talking about. So, you know, you do it to taste however you guys like it. And the same thing, when this goes in, this will be at 450 for like 20 minutes or so. Just kind of keep your eye on it. If it's golden brown on the edges, then it's ready to go. And again, we'll see the final product here in 20 minutes. See ya. Okay, so I took the focaccia out at 19 minutes. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this is a good pan. It depends what kind of pan you use. So that's how big the focaccia is. I'd say that's probably an 8-inch round circle. And we are at 23 minutes for the pizza. Let's take that out now. That's on that pizza stone. Whoops. Okay, so he's sliding pretty good too. That slides off nice with that cornmeal on there. The cornmeal will burn is the only bad thing. So be it. Okay, so this looks pretty good. The only difference I think is obviously the flour I used on the pizza dries it out a little more. The focaccia is a little more moist. And I did drizzle olive oil on the pizza, and I put onion on it. But what you want for the focaccia, I'll just cut it in half here. It's probably a little bit hot right now. But you see how there's the air holes in there? That's what you want. So that's really a good sign. The pizza will be the same. Now, I didn't put any pizza sauce. It's just how I made this one. But, you know, whatever. But you can tell, I don't know if I can flip this. It's going to be pretty hot. Look, I mean, that's nice and crusty. It's going to be crunchy. It'll be good. So I guess I have a snack this afternoon. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I will put the ingredients of how to make it, and it'll just show up on your screen. Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the video.